Well, good morning or afternoon or wherever you are. I'm Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Hewie and I would like to welcome you to Season 6. Yes, we're moving into the 6th year of Tech for Senior, and I want to thank everybody for all those years of support. We do appreciate that, and we appreciate you being here. I have a bunch of announcements today, so I thought it would be easier just to make a little video about this. Season 6 is going to be a fun year. We've talked about all the things we want to accomplish, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it. Hewie's excited about it. Everybody at Tech for Senior is excited about all the things we have planned. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I'd like to just briefly review our Saturday newsletter, and then I'm going to make an introduction to a new member of our group. So I just want to talk to everyone about our newsletter. Of course, the Saturday newsletter went out and there was a bit of change. So let's have a look at that. You'll see at the top, as I mentioned last week, click on this, view this newsletter in your browser. If you click this, then you'll come up here on the left and you can see the past issues. Again, I want to thank the sponsors, the Glendora Seniors Computer Club in California, Geeks on Tour, and of course the APCUG, or Association of Personal Computer User Groups. Thanks so much for sponsoring our newsletter, which comes out twice a week. Now let's have a look down on our Saturday newsletter, and you'll see, of course, shocking, TFS Season 6 starts Monday. Well, it is Monday today, but as we come down, the next thing you're going to see is follow us on Instagram. Yes, we now have Instagram, and we've been broadcasting for the last month to Instagram in addition to Facebook and YouTube. The site on Instagram is called Tech for Senior Info, and the information is right there. As we come down, many of you want to know what's happening on Monday. For those of you who read the Saturday newsletter, you'll of course see the whole agenda here, including the link to the educational service, or the educational video that we have that you'll see here. Of course, I have a lot of fun with Ron's tech quiz, and of course the questions this week were all about digital assistants on cell phones. For those if I forget to put it in there, the answers are always at the bottom of the email, but I have some fun to go through here, and I try to pick questions that you would be interested in, and they're also a little bit of education for you as well. So I have some fun making it up, and it's always there for you. Now, the other thing I like to talk a bit about are YouTube channels. Most people don't understand the vastness of YouTube and all the different channels and interests that are there. So I tend to not just put technology sites here, but I chose interesting sites and showcase one each week. This, of course, is about the School of Walk. It's all about the technology of using walks and what you can do with it. So they're not always cooking, but sometimes they'll be technical or travel issues. So have a look at that. I have a lot of fun with that. Of course, this is Hewie's article. Hewie puts an article in each week, and this is actually about display technologies on TVs, the new technology. If you're looking for a TV, this is a good article to have a look at. And if you come down, you'll find out if you do a donation, you'll see your name here. And of course, we have all our playlists of all the things about Tech for Senior right here, and you can click this, and these will help you with searching around our large channel. This is, and then this, of course, is my article here that I put in all about digital assistants. Coming down here, this is a link to our live stream for our Thursday show. Meeting info, if you're looking for our Zoom meeting info, is all here. And then, of course, answers to the quiz. So this is all in our Saturday newsletter. Hopefully you sign up, but also hopefully you read it. Now, last week we had the opportunity to say goodbye to Ray Baxter. Well, not goodbye. Ray's sort of a lifelong member now. He's going to be popping in and out, but he's not going to be doing the music outro anymore. So it was always he's going to be a difficult person to replace. About a month ago, I was listening to our show, and a fellow mentioned something in the half-hour preamble that we have, that he spent some time playing music for seniors. This, of course, was Mike Leaman, and I picked up on that, and I thought, I wonder if he would be interested in doing our music outro. So I got his phone number and phoned him up right after the show, and he said I would be happy to do that. Now, I had no idea anything about Mike prior to this happening, and I couldn't believe our good fortune. You would not believe his credentials. So let me just tell you a little bit about Mike for a minute, and I think we really struck gold with this. So Mike, of course, is from New Brunswick in Canada. He graduated in 1977 with an electronics degree. He then worked in microcom word processing before anyone had heard of word processing, and spent 3.5 years in commercial broadcasting. So not only is he a technologist, but he's a broadcaster, almost like Hewie. Anyway, he has spent a lot of time in communication and returned in 1982 as an instructor in the electronics engineering technology department with a 2-year contract, where I think he lasted about 35 years in that job. And then he went into a number of other specialties, including networking, switching, wireless communication. And he also spent his spare time as president of the New Brunswick Society of Certified Engineering Technicians and Technologists. So not only is he a broadcaster, but a very techie guy as well. He also is retired now and enjoys playing music into seniors organizations. So I am so excited about this. Mike has agreed to take on the role and is also going to participate in our Thursday show. So I couldn't believe our luck on this one. Thank you, Mike, for doing this. Welcome to our Tech for Senior group. We do appreciate you being here. And if everyone give Mike a big hand and make him feel very welcome, I look forward to his music selection today, which probably won't be a surprise. Anyway, I'll let Mike talk about that at the end before his music outro. So welcome, Mike. We look forward to your participation this year. Thank you for doing that. The only other thing I have to add before we get on with the show is the music, not the music, but our premiere version, our premiere educational series today is an interesting one. A year ago, you may or may not remember, but we did Do You Need a Home Phone? It was a whole special presentation on home phone. So I decided, rather than trying to pick 3 items out of that presentation, it was a good presentation. It is the entire presentation instead of just having the 3 selection, it is the entire presentation that will be for our special today, and that'll occur at 1:30. All right, so let's get on with the show. Bob, are you ready to go?
I hope so. Here is my Tech Talk and Beyond for the week ending March 14th, 2025. This week's topic, 10 Old Wives' Tales Debunked. Myth Busting, the Advice of Yesteryear. Myth Busting, the Advice of Yesteryear. If you've ever been told that cracking your knuckles will give you arthritis, or that going outside with wet hair will guarantee a cold, congratulations. You've been a victim of old wives' tales. The kind of advice passed down through generations that sounds wise, but often has little or no truth to back it up. For the younger folks who might not be familiar with the term old wives' tale, is a traditional belief or superstition that is usually meant to offer wisdom or caution, but often turns out to be scientifically inaccurate. These tales were passed down orally before science had the chance to step in and say, wait a minute, that's not quite right. So grab your debunking goggles and let's bust some of these myths wide open. Number 1, cracking your knuckles causes arthritis. The myth: if you keep cracking your knuckles, you'll end up with arthritis. The truth: nope, cracking your knuckles does not cause arthritis. The popping sound comes from the release of gas bubbles in the joint fluid, not from bones grinding together. Studies, including one by a doctor who cracked the knuckles on one hand for decades but left the other alone, found no difference in arthritis risk between his two hands. However, excessive knuckle cracking might weaken grip strength over time, but that's about it. Number 2, going outside with wet hair will make you sick. The myth: if you step outside with wet hair, you'll catch a cold. The truth: colds and the flu are caused by viruses, not damp hair. While being cold can weaken your immune system slightly, you won't magically catch a virus just because your hair is wet. The only way you'll get sick is if you come into contact with someone who is already infected. Moral of the story: you can dash out of the house post-shower without fear. Just maybe wear a hat if it's freezing outside to avoid discomfort. Number 3, swallowed gum stays in your stomach for 7 years. The myth: if you swallow gum, it'll stay in your stomach for 7 years because your body can't digest it. The truth: your stomach is not a gum graveyard. While it's true the gum isn't digested like normal food, it doesn't stick around for years. Instead, it moves through your digestive system and exits, you know where, within a few days. However, swallowing large amounts of gum can cause blockages, especially in young kids, so it's still best to spit it out. Number 4, carrots give you night vision. The myth: eat your carrots and you'll be able to see in the dark. The truth: carrots do contain vitamin A, which is essential for good vision, but they won't give you night vision superpowers. This myth actually started as World War II propaganda, when the British spread a rumor that their pilots had superior night vision due to eating carrots, when in reality they were using new radar technology to detect enemy planes. Still, carrots are good for your eyes. Just don't expect to see like a cat in the dark. Number 5, if you shave, your hair grows back thicker and darker. The myth: shaving makes your hair grow back thicker, darker, and coarser. The truth: nope. Shaving doesn't change the texture or color of your hair. When hair grows naturally, the ends taper, making it feel softer. But when you shave, the hair is cut at a blunt angle, which makes it feel stubbier as it grows back. The thickness, color, and speed of growth remain the same. Number 6, feed a cold, starve a fever. The myth: if you have a cold, eat a lot. If you have a fever, don't eat. The truth: your body needs nutrients whether you have a cold or a fever. The phrase likely originated from an old misunderstanding of how the body fights illnesses. Today, doctors recommend staying hydrated and eating nutritious food to help your body recover, regardless of whether you have a cold or fever. So eat up, but maybe skip the greasy junk food and opt for some nourishing soup instead. Number 7, chocolate gives you acne. The myth: eating chocolate will make you break out in pimples. The truth: chocolate alone does not cause acne. Breakouts are more likened to hormones, genetics, and overall diet rather than one specific food. However, some studies suggest that diets high in sugar and dairy can worsen acne. So if you notice breakouts after binging on sweets, it might be your diet overall, not just the chocolate. Good news for chocoholics: you can still enjoy your favorite treat in moderation. Number 8, Don't go swimming after eating. You'll cramp and drown. The myth. If you swim right after eating, you'll get a cramp and drown. The truth. While it's true that digestion diverts some blood flow to your stomach, it doesn't take enough away from your muscles to cause dangerous cramps. If you're feeling bloated or uncomfortable, you might not want to swim right away, but it's not deadly. So feel free to enjoy that poolside burger. Just don't eat so much that you sink from the weight of your own food coma. Number 9, don't wake a sleepwalker. It could kill them. The myth, waking up a sleepwalker can give them a heart attack or make them go insane. The truth, while waking a sleepwalker might startle them, it won't cause a medical emergency. However, sleepwalkers can be confused and disoriented, so it's best to guide them back to bed gently instead of shaking them awake. Just don't let them wander out the front door thinking they're on a magical adventure. Number 10, lightning never strikes the same place twice. The myth, if lightning has struck somewhere once, it won't strike there again. The truth, lightning can and does strike the same place multiple times. In fact, tall structures like the Empire State Building get hit by lightning dozens of times a year. The idea that lightning avoids previous targets is pure fiction. Moral of the story, if you're caught in a thunderstorm, standing where lightning just struck isn't a safe bet. Final thoughts. Old wives' tales are fun to hear, but it's always good to check the facts before believing them. While some myths started with good intentions, science has helped us separate fact from fiction, and in some cases saved us from unnecessary worries. But don't worry, Grandma's advice isn't always wrong. Sometimes it just needs a scientific update. Stay safe, stay secure, and the real question is, what other old myths have you believed for years? Let me know and I'll gladly bust or confirm them for you. You'll find the video used in today's Tech Talk at the link listed. Did you know? Your parents might have joked that you had selective hearing when you didn't hear them calling for you. But selective hearing or selective auditory attention is a real thing wherein we focus our attention on one auditory input to the exclusion of others, like when we listen to a teacher talking or a TV in a noisy room. Our lovely yellow sun is a lovely pure white color. The phenomenon known as Rayleigh scattering shifts the color of the rays pass through the Earth's atmosphere, and depending on the time of day and atmospheric conditions, we see the color as yellow, orange, or red. Despite the widely held belief that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, there's no real data to back this up, and the concept didn't gain traction until it was championed by a small group of religious fanatics and lobbyists for cereal and bacon companies in the late 19th century. Just thought you might like to know. Failure is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you are alive and growing, thanks to Buzz Aldrin. Hope is a good breakfast, but it's a bad supper. Thanks to Francis Bacon. And that's a wrap for this week's Tech Talk and Beyond. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye, and thanks for reading, watching, and listening.
Old wives' tales. Huh. Interesting, Bob. You know, I got asked that all the time, some of those questions in my practice. So I wish you'd made that video 20 years ago. And then I wouldn't have had to say it. I could have just played the video. Anyway, well done.
I wouldn't have been repeating them all the time.
Yeah, right. Good one, Bill. Bob, that's great. Now we have Chris, of course, Chris Gould talking on the Magic Editor, which is sort of fun because I've been waiting for Gail and her physiotherapy when she gets out, and I'm sitting in the car thinking of what to do. So I've been playing with Magic Editor, changing pictures around, and it's sort of fun. So I'm anxious to see how the pro does it. So let me just see if I can find the video, but we should be okay. Here we go.
Editing with Magic Editor. So how do you like that picture? How about that springtime yellow tree called the ℸ𝕝𝕁𝕤𝕝? I love those trees. They don't last long, but when they're out, they are just phenomenal. And notice how nice and blue the sky is and how dramatic this photo. That is the photo I took. That is the original photo. And I love that tree so much. I said, I want to make this photo more dramatic, prettier. You do that with Magic Editor, and I want to show you. So, and this is the same on Android or iPhone, as long as you're using Google Photos. This is an editing feature of Google Photos. Here is that picture. And it's, yeah, okay, that's a ℸ𝕝𝕁𝕁 tree in bloom, but it's just not as good as I want it to look. You tap Edit first, and then Magic Editor is a special tool in Edit. It's this one right here that's changing colors. That little button is Magic Editor. And it investigates the picture and says, well, what do you want to do? I'll bet a lot of you have heard of Magic Eraser, right? Magic Eraser, well, that's all it does. It will erase items in the picture. Magic Editor will also erase items in the picture, but then it will do a lot more. So first, I do want to erase these telephone poles in the background. It says circle, brush, or tap to select. So I'm gonna, okay, it's highlighted that. I want to add more to the selection. I'll highlight that. And maybe even that. Okay, so now I have highlighted. First, I'm getting rid of stuff I don't want in the picture. I tap done, I'm done selecting, and erase. And it thinks about it a minute, and it works. And the next item, so I'll check mark on that. Now see, the Magic Editor icon is still there. So it's saying, well, do you want me to do some more with this? I tap the Magic Editor, and stylized. Stylized is what will make the sky bluer and the flowers yellower and make it a more dramatic photo. And it gives you different choices. I like that second one. And it will even really stylize it, making it look like artwork. But I like that one. I tap the check mark and then I save a copy. Now, what if you say, okay, I want to do that, and you open up a picture, you tap on Magic Editor, you tap on it again, and you don't get the stylized option. Take a look at these. None of the middle one has stylized, and that's all. This is AI. So AI is looking at the picture and saying, what might I do with that picture? The first one, it says, well, I might make the sky better, or I might make it look like a sunset, golden hour, or I might make the water look better. In the second picture, there is no water, there is no sky, so it only offers you stylized. In the third picture, it doesn't offer you stylized, but it does offer you portrait. That's because there are people's faces in it. So let me go to that one that has people's faces in it. I tap on Edit. I tap on Magic Editor, this special button. and I tap on it again. There's nothing I want to delete from this picture. So I just tap on Magic Editor again and choose Portrait, meaning make our faces stand out more than anything else. Notice how the background got a little blurry. And you have a few choices here. The middle one has the background even blurrier. If you want to see, well, what's the difference between this and the original? That's this little button right here. If I hold on that, now I'm looking at my original photo. I let go, I'm looking at the Magic Editor edited one. I do think that one looks better, don't you? You know, so Magic Editor is something to use if you took a picture that you really like, but you want it to be even better. You want it to be more dramatic. So I checkbox and I save copy.
They don't see that.
Oops. I tap to check and I save copy. And now just one last thing I want to show you is that it has recorded the fact that this photo was manipulated with AI. If I swipe up and look at the information, notice down here under all info, credit, edited with Google AI. So it's not front and center, but if you ever need to know if a photo has been manipulated in Google Photos with the AI, with the Magic Editor, it is now part of the metadata of the photo. For this picture, I think we should be closer together. Edit, Magic Editor. I'll tap on Jim. Oops, that just got his hand. So I need to refine the selection and add. There. Now I can touch and hold. No, I have to say done now that I've added more area. I don't want to erase him. Touch and hold and move him over. And do it. I like it. I tap check mark and save a copy. For this one, I want the horse on the hill to be bigger. Edit, Magic Editor, tap the horse, touch and hold, and then this can be really tricky. I need to get 2 fingers on that horse in order to make it bigger. There, I got it. It can be done. And that's good. I say do it. But Magic Editor can do more. Notice that after I tap the check mark, I still have the Magic Editor button. So that's saying there's more that it could do with this. It can make adjustments to the sky. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Or that one, or that one. So it gives me a few, and I can even tap to get more results, but I like that one. Check mark, save a copy. And I've saved the coolest one for last. This is a picture of a banyan tree in my neighborhood that I just think is special. Magic Editor. And I don't want to move anything around, so I'm going to tap Magic Editor again. And notice how it offers me stylized. What is that? It turns it into a work of art with several different choices. Wow. And I could even get more choices. Oh, I like that one. It turned that one hard root into a little waterfall. So I'll check mark and save a copy. Play around with Magic Editor. It's fun.
I think a new career there. We can make photographs. This is cool. This is really amazing. Well done. Well done, Chris. I know there'll be some questions for her in the Q&A. Chris will be here for the Q&A. Zoom etiquette. Huey, what are we doing wrong? Are we doing any other than me selecting the right videos to play? Are we what do we need in Zoom etiquette?
And talked about it since when we first came to Zoom. So let's take a look. Let's see, share. Zoom Meeting Etiquette Guide. Professional conduct in virtual meetings is essential for productivity and respect. This guide covers preparation, participation, and handling unexpected situations. I'm Hewie Poplock. About 5 years ago, Zoom meetings became very popular. And at that time, everyone was scrambling to teach users and attendees of meetings how to use the product, but also proper etiquette. But since then, we don't talk about that anymore, and I thought it was a good time to talk about proper etiquette and what you should do watching and being a member of the audience of a Zoom meeting. So before the meeting, equipment check. Test your tech. Ensure microphone, camera, and speakers work correctly. Check internet stability. Learn controls. Familiarize yourself with mute, video, and chat functions. Join early. Log in a few minutes before the start time. This prevents interruptions. When you go to a movie, you're usually in your seat just before the movie starts. You want to do that for a Zoom meeting as well. It's not fair to the presenter who has prepared a full presentation for you and you come in and miss part of it. Setting up your environment, quiet space. Choose a location with minimal background noise. Inform others you'll be in a meeting. Proper lighting. Ensure your face is well lit. Avoid sitting with windows directly behind you or any light behind you. Have the light in front of you. Have a clean background. Use a neutral, professional background. Remove distracting items from view or use a virtual background. Don't have it show what your bedroom looks like or what other people in your household are walking around in maybe what wouldn't be considered proper clothing and be embarrassed by it. Professional appearance. Dress appropriately. Wear what you would in an in-person meeting, even at home. Avoid distractions. Skip clothing with busy patterns or distracting logos. Set your name. Use your full name or the name you normally use in everyday life because people want to know you and know who you are. Audio etiquette. Mute when you're not speaking. Keep your microphone muted unless you're actively contributing. But make sure you remember you're muted when you do go to speak. And then speak clearly. Use a moderate pace and volume. Avoid rambling. Don't go on and on. And then minimize background noise. Consider using noise cancellation apps like Crisp. Video best practices. Have your camera on. Use video when possible to foster engagement and connection. Have eye contact. Look at the camera when speaking, not at yourself. Mindful movements. Avoid excessive fidgeting or distracting gestures. And professional posture. Sit up straight and maintain a professional appearance. Don't fall asleep. If you do fall asleep, obviously you're not going to be able to turn your camera off and everyone's going to see you snoozing. And don't eat on camera, and especially if it's something crunchy, don't have it by your microphone. In the bottom left is somebody who's surprised. Somebody asked him a question. He's looking at his phone. He's looking at another monitor. Make sure your attention is on what's being said. And of course, wear something appropriate. Don't be wearing your PJs. Active participation. Focus fully. Avoid multitasking. Close email and unrelated browser tabs. Show engagement. Nod and provide visual cues to show you're listening. Use a hand raise feature. signal when you have something to contribute. If you can't find how to raise your hand virtually using Zoom, just raise your hand. Respect others. Don't interrupt speakers. Consider different viewpoints. Using chat effectively. Relevant content. Use chat for questions, comments, or sharing links. Avoid side conversations. Limit private chats unless necessary. And keep it professional. Never send inappropriate or distracting messages. Handling interruptions. Getting up. If you're going to have to get up to get something or to go in the other room to do something else, make sure you always mute your microphone before getting up and turn off your video. Disable your camera to avoid unprofessional moments. You do not want to have, in this case, the fellow's shirt is covering all of his back as well as his pants, but I've seen many people get up. People are seeing things that they don't really want to see. So make sure you turn your camera off before you do get up to retrieve something or to go in the other room. And then when you come back, just turn your camera back on. You don't have to announce that you're back. We will see that. When someone interrupts you in the room where you are, mute yourself immediately. The first priority is silencing your audio. The signal them quietly. Use hand gestures to indicate you're in a meeting. And address very briefly for urgent matters, respond quickly and quietly. And then turn your camera back on, and when necessary, turn your microphone back on. Phone calls during meetings. If your phone starts to ring, mute immediately. Silence your microphone as soon as the phone rings. Quickly turn off the ringer. Then allow non-urgent calls to go to voicemail. And step away if necessary. For urgent calls, turn off the video and then return quickly. Food and drink considerations. Meals during meetings. Avoid eating during video calls, and it can be quite distracting for others. Acceptable beverages. Sipping water or coffee is generally considered appropriate. And then mute when drinking. Consider muting when taking a drink to avoid any noise. Technical issues, quick fixes. When technical problems arise, stay calm. Try quick fixes like checking connections, restarting the app, or rejoining the meeting. And then meeting conclusion etiquette. Proper farewell. Say goodbye appropriately before leaving the meeting, or just wave. Log out completely. Ensure you've properly exited the meeting. And then if any follow-up is needed, send any promised materials or information promptly. Some ground rules for Zoom meetings. Find a quiet space to participate in the meeting. Enter the room a few minutes early to resolve any technical issues. Start on time, end on time. Take a break at least every hour. Feel it necessary. Turn off your mic, turn off your camera, get up, walk around the chair a couple of times, sit back down, and then turn them back on. Leave your speaker on so you can hear what's going on. Do not multitask. Do other work during the meeting. Mute your microphone when not talking. Position your camera close to the screen you're looking at. Keep your camera on whenever possible. Turn off your camera if doing something distracting. Balance airtime so all participants and no one dominates. And raise your hand and speak up if you have something to say. Ask quieter members for their opinion. Use the chat box to record key ideas and action items. Be interested so the meeting can be interesting. And with that, this has been Zoom Meeting Etiquette Guide. I'm Hewie Poplock.
Thanks, Hewie. Good information. Excellent. Bob, are you ready to roll?
Feel free to use that also for your groups.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna put it on your site as well, so it'll be on your
Yeah,
YouTube.
it is there already. Yep.
Right. Okay. Bob, go ahead. Take it away.
Perplexity AI is now available as a Windows app. Of course, you can always install it on your iOS and Android device, and there's also a Chrome extension. But the Windows app is brand new. Just go to perplexity.ai/platforms. And from there, select where you want to install Perplexity. I've installed it on the desktop. I've also added it to the Start menu and, as you can see here, pinned it to the taskbar. One other nice feature is there's a shortcut key. If you simply use the Control key and the I guess for information, Control and I, and you see the search bar open up. And from here you can do Auto, Pro, Reasoning, Deep Search, and I still have 3 enhanced queries remaining for the day. There is a limit unless you're paying for it. I'm not, but I can use the Pro version for the limit. I believe it's 5 queries each day. Let's put it back to auto, and you can do your search by simply typing, or the easy way, dictation's available, but not if you're already using your mic, which I am because I'm creating a video. So ask it anything. What's the weather in Los Lunas, New Mexico for the next 7 days? It's that simple. I'll leave the link to get to the download in the show notes. Give it a try. Perplexity happens to be an excellent AI, even if you're just using the free version. And remember, even in the free, you do have some access to the paid features, at least a couple of them each day. Stay safe, stay secure. I hope that helps. Give Perplexity's new Windows desktop app a try. A quick look at a new AI feature that I was just granted access to in Gmail. It allows me to automatically add items to my calendar. In this case, it's an invitation to some Zoom meetings, but instead of talking about it, let me show you just how it works. The Summarize This Email has been available for some time. What's brand new is Add to Calendar. And this only pops up if there's something that should be on your calendar. So in this case, it's an invitation to a Zoom meeting. So let's go ahead and select Add to Calendar. Sure, you want to create these 2 events. Do you want to go ahead and create them right now? A business meeting and a program meeting. So let's go ahead and select that little check mark to confirm. And my calendar now has these 2 items added to it. It's that easy. And to confirm it, let's open up the calendar. And for March 13th, I have a couple of things going on, but there's the one that I just added based on the email I received. Once this becomes available to you, don't forget about it, use it, and enjoy it. Stay safe, stay secure. I hope that helps. Bye-bye, and thanks for reading, watching, and listening.
Thanks, Bob. Good information. And we had a question last week about Perplexity. So thanks for getting that done. That answered a question. So that's great. Excellent.
By the way, I noticed that shortcut key of Control and I, it worked when I did the video. It hasn't worked since. So I don't know if they made changes or there's a conflict on my computer with those 2 keys. But as I said, it worked when I first put it in. Now it's not working.
All right. Thanks a lot. All right. Last selection before we get to the music. Let me just play this for you. Just a minute here. Whistleblower crater. Italian painter. List of ministers to Elizabeth I. Have you ever spent a lot of time just sitting on a computer wasting time? Whether you're looking at Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts. You know, I sit oftentimes after dinner and I sort of go over and I'm just going to watch a few YouTube Shorts and an hour goes by. Well, this is another way of just wasting time. Let me show you today an interesting site called Wikitok. I'm Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, where we help seniors waste a lot of time on computers. But I want to take away something today, and we're going to talk about this Wikitok feature, which of course, if I click on this, you'll see it's Wikipedia. I'll explain this in a minute. This is a free website and an app that you can put on your phone that goes through Wikipedia and chooses interesting topics to talk about. And it puts it in the same sort of formats you're used to the other time-wasting products I just mentioned. This is pretty cool, but I wanted to give you 3 things that you should do before engaging in products like this to make sure they're safe. We're going to talk about those 3, and then I'm going to show you how it works on my phone. It is sort of cool, and I am having some fun with it. All right, let's come back to the website. This is simply a website, wikitalk.io. There's no sign-in, and if we look at first the terms of service, it indicates that there is no personal data collection and there's no sharing it with third party. So we certainly have looked at that, and I feel more comfortable using this product. As I said, there is no sign-in, and it simply changes each time you bring that site up. So I think it's sort of fun to use. The second thing is I asked AI. I went to Gemini and asked AI. Now, when we asked Gemini, it brought up this information, and it's talked about data privacy, and it said it indicated that the terms of service, there was no data collected and no third-party information given out. I'm not going to read the whole article about it, but in essence, it says Wikitalk's safety profile appears positive, particularly concerning its data privacy. So now we've done sort of our due diligence. I feel much more confident about this service. The terms of service we've looked at say no data collection, and that's really confirmed through AI. Now I'm going to install it on my Android phone, but I'm going to look in the Play Store and check and make sure there's no problems there. So that would be the third thing we're going to look at before using this service. Now, just to let you know, I have checked this out. This is perfectly legit. It's not collecting any, at least not that I can find, and it's a lot of fun to use. So this is safe, but you should be looking at this before you start using services like this. Do some searching, do some of the things we've discussed today. Check and make sure that your personal data isn't being compromised. So now we're over at the Play Store, and just before we install this on my Pixel 8 phone, just have a look and see what it says about this app. There's about 10,000 downloads. You can look at this, but there is no reviews on this software. And the other thing is that Google is now being more aggressive with apps in the Play Store. So there are no bad ratings on this. There's no cautions or anything like that. It looks okay. I mean, I think this is an app that I would install, and let's see how you do that. All right, so we're in the Play Store, and I'm on my Pixel 8 Pro. Let's do a search for Wikitalk. And we're going to do, I will search it in the app. There we go, Wikitalk. And it's going to come up with the logo for Wikitalk. Click on that for install. And as we install it, you'll see that there is no sign-in. You don't have to provide any information. It's just hit the install button and it's going to come up. And let's see how that goes as we install it. It's going to ask you if you have, these are all the devices I have it installed on, but here it goes. It's a quick install, and when it finishes, the program will come up. Let's open it and see what happens. And it's going to find, immediately it's going to find articles in Wikipedia, and as you scroll through, this is a lot like Reels or TikTok, and you're going to scroll through this and it's going to talk all about the specific articles. Now if you click on this and you want to learn more about whatever you're looking at, it opens it up right into Wikipedia. Interesting and a lot of fun. So I have it on all my mobile devices. So Wikitok, have some fun with it. Remember, it's just a website. Bookmark it, and every time you go back, there'll be something different. You don't have to sign in, and it's not using any personal information. Remember, it's also available as an app on your Android phone in the Play Store or on your iPhone in the Apple Store. So both have Wikitok in there. But just remember, this was a safe site to use. But before you start using services like this, do a little bit of searching. Look at the terms of service. Maybe do a AI search like with Gemini and search it out and find out what's going on with it, and also have a look at the terms of service in the Play Store before you install it on your phone. Keep your eyes and ears open. This is a safe one and you're going to have lots of fun. I'm Ron Brown. This is Tech for Senior. Until we see you again, have a great day, and remember that like and subscribe. All right. Wikitalk. Lots of fun. Okay, before we get to Mike's outro today, I just want to remind everybody that if you're over on YouTube, that you can come over and participate in the Q&A. We have lots of room over here, so if you want to participate in any questions you have, please do so. And remind you, of course, that we will be on our Thursday show this Thursday, and we'll be back here again for episode 2 of season 6 of Tech for Senior. All right, let me just stop the live stream. And Mike, you are going to be on tap here. I'll play the video. I'll play your music outro. I'll play the music for you if you just want to comment on the narrative.
Okay, great. I'll call for the music. As you can see by my attire, today is St. Patrick's Day. Before I start, I would just want everybody to know what leprechauns are. Does everybody know that leprechauns are really just Santa's elves that got fired for drinking on the job? Hold your applause. So I want to, oops, let me see here. I want to share. There we go. And we want to share this. Okay, so today being St. Patrick's Day, I've selected Danny Boy and going to look at its significance in history. So St. Patrick's Day is often celebrated with songs that capture Irish culture, history, and festive spirit. There are a few songs that are closely associated with it. The first being Danny Boy, a classic soulful ballad. Molly Malone, a tribute to the streets of Dublin. The Wild Rover, a lively and widely loved drinking song. And I just need to get my mug off the way so I can see it here. Whiskey in the Jar, a traditional song that's been covered by various artists. So concentrating primarily on Danny Boy has a fascinating history that intertwines both Irish and English cultural elements. The song's lyrics were written by English lawyer and lyricist Frederick Weatherly in 1910. Initially, he wrote the lyrics to a different tune, but in 1913, he adapted the lyrics, oops, watch my thing here, to the traditional Irish melody, Londonderry Air. The melody of Londonderry Air was collected by Jane Ross of Limavady in the mid-19th century from a musician she encountered. The origins of the melody are somewhat mysterious, with some attributing it to the Irish harpist Rory O'Dowd Callahan, who lived in Scotland in the late 17th century. Weatherly's sister-in-law, Margaret Enright Weatherly, who was living in the United States at the time, sent him the melody of Londonderry Air in 1913. Captivated by the tune, Weatherly modified his lyrics to fit the melody, creating the version of Danny Boy as we know it today. The song quickly gained popularity and became one of the most beloved Irish ballads, often associated with themes of love, loss, and longing. Despite being written by an Englishman, Danny Boy has been embraced by the Irish community and is often seen as a reflection of Irish identity and spirit. Danny Boy holds a special place in Irish culture, symbolizing a need for a deep sense of heritage, emotion, and connection to the land and its people. The song's cultural significance has seen in several ways. Emotional expression, the poignant lyrics and haunting melody resonate the themes of love, loss, separation, and longing. The emotional depth speaks to the experience of many English people, especially those who emigrated or had family members living abroad. The Irish identity. The song is often seen as a reflection of Irish identity and spirit. Despite being written by an Englishman, Danny Boy has been embraced by the Irish community as, a heartfelt representation of their history and struggles. Ceremonial use. It's frequently used and performed at important events and ceremonies, including weddings, funerals, national celebrations. Its ability to evoke deep emotions makes it a fitting choice for marking significant moments in people's lives. Global recognition. The song has become an international symbol of Irish culture and known and loved by people around the world. Its widespread recognition helps promote and preserve the Irish culture on the global stage. Artistic impression. Over the years, Danny Boy has inspired countless artists, musicians, and performers. Its enduring popularity ensures that it ensures to be reinterpreted and celebrated in various forms of artistic expression. In a summary, Danny Boy is more than just a song for the Irish. It's a powerful cultural artifact that encapsulates the emotions, experience, and identity of a people. Over the years, it's been recorded by numerous artists, each bringing their own unique touch to the song. Some notable artists who have recorded it include Bing Crosby, Mario Lanza, Eva Cassidy, Remy Fleming, Jim McCann, Celtic Women, Jackie Evanchalo, Andy Williams, Judith Durham, Sinead O'Connor, Eric Clapton, John McDermott, Elvis Presley, Roy Orbison, Johnny Cash, and Conway Twitty. Now, I've included the links for 3 different versions. I'm only going to play one, but the first one I'm going to mention is Conway Twitty's version of Danny Boy. It's a heartfelt and soulful rendition of the classic Irish ballad. Twitty, who's known for his deep and emotive voice, brings a unique country twist to the song. His version was released in 1959 and became popular, encasing its versatility as an artist. And I'll put the link in the chat here in a moment, but you've got to know that it's really different than what you're probably used to. Eva Cassidy's rendition of Danny Boy is a powerful, haunting interpretation of a classic ballad. Her soulful voice and emotive delivery bring a unique depth to the song, making it one of its most beloved versions. And finally, for today's presentation is a generic one, which I'm going to let Ron share with you now. It's just a generic version of Danny Boy that I've selected, and I'll post the links in the chat here. Take it away, Ron. And that's Danny Boy. And that was actually, it was one of the other versions I was going to play, but that's fine. That's too. I did provide the links for all 3, but I mean, they're all very different, yet the same song, but I mean, they're all tremendous. And if you really wanted to see my full presentation, I'm doing an hour and a half tonight with the Carlton Show Band and the Irish Rovers.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I hope I've been able to fill Ray's shoes. Thanks very much.
I think you're going to do just fine. Thanks so much. And of course, Mike will be we'll be putting his section into the newsletter tomorrow, which of course will have all the links in there as well. And that's Mike's given me the narrative for that. So thank you so much, Mike. I think it's going to work out really well. We really appreciate that. For those of you who have to leave now, don't forget that we at 1/2 will be our premiere version starting. It will be all about, do you need a home phone? It'll be the whole show that we did about a year ago. I thought there was some really good stuff there, and so that's available for us at 1/2. Of course, this Thursday, Bill James will be joining us on our Thursday show, and he's gonna have a gadget tomorrow too. So lots of good stuff. So be sure and watch the newsletter tomorrow, because Bill will have his gadget of the week. And so, and he'll be with us again on Thursday. And of course, we'll be back next week. And Mike will have another great music song for us, I'm sure, for next week. And it should be a great season.